Jeremy Stephens is back in the UFC after 4 years. Bro, if you don't know who Jeremy Lil Heathen Stephens is, you've either been living under a rock or you just started watching MMA yesterday. This dude is a straight-up KO artist, one of the most violent fighters in UFC history. And now he's making a comeback in front of his hometown crowd in Des Moines, Iowa at UFC Fight Night on May 3rd. This is not just a random fight. It's the UFC's first event in Iowa in 25 years. And guess what? He's fighting a straight killer, Mason the Dragon Jones, a young, hungry Welsh fighter who's looking to make a name for himself by taking out a veteran. UFC officially returns to Iowa for the first time in 25 years. The last time the UFC was in Iowa, March 17th, 2000. UFC 26. That's so old school, it was before the Dana White era, before TOAF, and before MMA even had weight classes like today. Now, on May 3rd, UFC Fight Night is coming to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, and it's a stacked card featuring Corey Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo, bantamweight main event, Rainier de Ridder versus Bo Nickal, co-main, Jeremy Stephens versus Mason Jones, lightweight bout, more fights to be announced by UFC CBO Hunter Campbell. This event is massive for Midwest MMA. Fighters from Iowa and surrounding states finally get a home event to represent. Stephens fighting here? That's special. For the casuals, let me remind you why people are hyped about this return. Jeremy Stephens equals certified savage. 48 professional fights, 30 wins, 19 losses, 1 no contest, 19 knockouts. Most of them absolute bangers, has fought killers like Max Holloway, Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar, Yair Rodriguez, and Rafael dos Anjos. Stephens isn't just a fighter, he's a knockout machine. Bro, the Josh Emmett knockout is still one of the nastiest KOs ever. He sent that man to another dimension. When McGregor says, "Who the F is that guy?" Of course, most people remember him from this moment, but real fans know Stephens lets his hands do the talking. Since leaving the UFC in 2021, he's been in PFL, boxing, and even bare-knuckle fighting. And now, at 38, he's back in the UFC. But let's be real, he's not coming back for an easy fight. So, who is Mason the Dragon Jones? He's 29 years old, a former 2-division Cage Warriors champ, just like Conor McGregor before the UFC, and he's had a solid run in the UFC so far. Jones is an all-action fighter. Pressure, volume, non-stop pace. His biggest strengths? Tough as hell. He can take damage and keep moving high pace, high volume. He doesn't stop throwing good wrestling. If needed, he can mix it up. The dude is a grinder. But does he have the power to stop Stephens? That's the real question. So, how does this fight play out? If it stays standing, Stephens has that one-shot knockout power. He can end a fight with a single bomb. But at 38, is he still as fast? Can he still pull the trigger like before? Mason Jones is younger, faster, and will try to push the pace. If he keeps volume up and avoids the big shot, he can win on points. If it goes to the ground, Jones has better grappling and cardio. Stephens is strong, but has struggled with wrestling-heavy fighters. If Jones plays it smart, he might drag this into deep waters. My prediction: Mason Jones by decision. Stephens has that wildcard KO power, but Jones' volume, pressure, and pace will likely be too much. Alright, so who you got? Is Lil Heathen coming back with a bang and shutting down the doubters? Or is Mason Jones too fast, too young, and ready to take over? Drop your predictions in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, smash subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.